What's up, everybody? I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise, Alabama. And today's news all around the automotive and really the global, not just automotive, but the global business world is the reason, well, we're talking electronics today. And this is the reason why a semiconductor, a microchip, a wafer is possibly going to come between your best car deal and your new car. The best deal, the new car, they're going to be farther apart than you wish. Stay tuned and we'll jump right into it. We all wanted 2021 to be different than 2020. However, as we saw in 2020, March, April, just the used car market skyrocketed as plants were closed, no more new vehicles, and we all kind of saw that throughout the year of less new cars than what we wanted, less 2020 models right now with less incentives. So maybe that best car deal on a new vehicle is not going to be around as long, or you're going to have to take your second choice of car, second choice of color to get that deal right now. However, we thought that 2021 may just roll on to be back up to par with the number of vehicles produced, sales back up, all of those good things. However, now we've realized that there's still altering effects from the 2020 pandemic or from the current pandemic.
I just want to say one word to you. Just one word.
Yes, sir.
Are you listening?
Yes, I am.
Semiconductors. So as electrical and as smart and as computer-based as vehicles are today, they run on microchips. They run on wafers. They run on motherboards, circuit boards, semiconductors, all of these things. Whether it's a $5 semiconductor or a $150 semiconductor, there's the need for both. And that $5 conductor or the $150 conductor, without it, either one could stop production. And so we are seeing now, I actually first started to feel the effects in December, but we are seeing now where globally some big companies, Nissan, Honda, Volkswagen's affected, and then some domestic companies, I believe Toyota Tundra, for example, and Subaru is talking about some altered production schedules. Also, you have Ford involved in this with its Corsair Escape and several other lines. Eventually, though, without the supply, without the continuing or ongoing production of these semiconductors, we might be in a mess in the next couple of months. We might be continual shutdown or continual products to not be or cut production. So it could be a problem for all of 2021. I hope not. If you haven't heard about this semiconductor situation, just Google semiconductor shortage. And if you want to see how that pertains to the automotive industry, Google automotive semiconductor shortage or semiconductor shortage automotive. And you'll have several articles pop right up that tell you a little bit about what's going on, what has been going on, and potentially what happens in the future. So you can find out more research on your specific brand, your specific area that you're shopping, and see how it shakes out. However, specifically, I wanted to talk to you about this $60 billion semiconductor problem and what that means for you. So as we talked about before, several videos last year of how that used car market just went up, 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 up. And then it kind of leveled out by the end of the year. As of reports on the Manheim used car value index, we're still up about 15% year over year, as in January, on those wholesale values, year over year. So even though we've seen some adjustments made on the used car market, we're still up 15% year over year. So what is February going to hold? Well, just from the ear to the ground that I've been involved with, everybody's screaming, no microchips, no semiconductors. There's going to be problems. So what does that mean as a dealership? What we've seen is that dealers are buying used cars aggressively because they're afraid that the supply of new cars will not be available. What does that mean? Well, when dealers are gobbling them up, prices go up, 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 up. So even if you aren't considering a new car, if you're looking at a used vehicle, that could mean that that used vehicle 2 months from now, a month from now, could be higher than what it is today. It could be higher than what it was last year even. And although we thought that this was, well, actually, according to Manheim, this was the highest last year. We saw the highest values of used cars ever. We might be in a situation where this happens all over again because of the microchips, the semiconductors. So I hope this isn't the case. And yes, let's also add in Mother Nature. Specifically, Toyota and Lexus weren't altered much by their supply of semiconductors, but in Japan, a 7.2 on the Richter scale earthquake has affected some of its suppliers. Fortunately, Nissan was not affected, although they're ones that shifted production because of the semiconductors. Mazda was not affected, their suppliers were not, but there are several suppliers along those areas of Japan that feed Toyota that were affected. So even though they seem to be okay with semiconductors, now we see some other production cost. And what's been going on in the middle of the country, we see this ice storm, this big freeze in Texas. Guess what? In America, we produce semiconductors, and there is some facilities that are shut down because they're frozen. This could be a bigger problem, although it's the smallest thing in the whole vehicle for the most part. It could be the biggest problem, again, that keeps you from that very best deal on your brand new vehicle or new to you vehicle. So I hope this isn't the case, although that's the buzzword at these auctions, is we don't know how far the current supply of semiconductors and microchips are going to go. We don't know how long it's going to take to rebuild the supply. Now, let's just hold on for 1 minute. Step back. Why is there such a problem with these microchips and these semiconductors? Well, really, it's two things. Number one, back in March, April, when the manufacturers, for the sake of COVID, said, hey, we're going to shut our plant, clean it, keep our employees safe, nobody could blame them for that. Safe and healthy, everybody. Social distance, guidelines, new enforcements, all those things. Hey, I'm good with that. However, when you stop producing something, you no longer need the components. So what do? You don't order your usual amount of components. So these big motor manufacturing companies told the semiconductor suppliers that, hey, we don't need these right now. So when they opened back up, and maybe the manufacturers of automobiles did or didn't, depending on what was going on, what happened? Everybody went home. Everybody wanted a PlayStation 5, an Xbox, a computer, a laptop, a tablet, whatever, Zoom, cameras and everything else to work from home. So what happened? These semiconductor companies started making more for those lines, for those types of businesses, and said, hey, we'll start making those for the automotive companies when necessary, but right now they don't need them. So there is a supply domestically. There is a shorter supply of what's coming over internationally. And so now they've been building vehicles. They've opened back up for months now. However, it may slow down, or they may reallocate these conductors around to different product lines because of shortages. We don't know. All we know is that every one of us experienced something in 2020 that we really didn't think would ever happen with the pandemic and all the effects. And it seems like the effects are not over yet. The point of my video is that, of course, I want to look out for you when shopping for a vehicle. So now may be the time, because if the vehicles are not available 2 months from now, you may not be able to find what you want. Or if all of the vehicles just get further and further not available, sell out, etc., you may have to pay a higher price for a used vehicle in 2 to 3 months than you can today. You make the best decision for you. If you're looking for a new vehicle, you may not find a 2020 model. You may go ahead and look at a 2021, which there's already good incentives on a 2021. However, as things continue throughout the year, you may not need to wait till spring to purchase a vehicle. You may not need to wait till summer because we may be in the same situation where we were last summer. You never know. Will we continue to see used car values climb? Very possible. What will that do to the new car? Well, we know the supply will be down if they shut production, but perhaps incentives will dwindle as well. Never fear though, I have seen some 0% offers. I don't know if those are on 2020s or 2021s for longer terms. So it could be that right now you need to take advantage of a 2020 if that's what you're looking for. Or it could be that you wait and see for the semiconductor lottery and see how many of them come together. I almost feel like this is a James Bond movie.
Bond. James Bond.
And we're after the secret microchip that plugs into the warhead that could save the world. But that's just the movies. And books, I guess. Bond was a book. Do what's best for you. I'm always here to help. Comment below and let me know what you think about this semiconductor madness, really is what it is. Although we need them in everything. I'm shooting this video on a phone that's full of semiconductors. So we all need them. It's a way of life for us. And we just have to make sure that everybody at those factories, all locations are safe, healthy moving forward, that the vaccine is doing what's necessary, and that we can continue to get those items that we want produced in a timely manner. In the meantime, enjoy your PlayStation, your new laptops, your tablets, your Xboxes, and we'll see if we can get some of these things to go in our new vehicles. I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise, and I really can't wait to see you in a new vehicle of your choice, and I hope at a very fair deal. We'll see. I'll catch you on the next one.